Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was Banished to the Forbidden Lands. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto's Soul Was Taken by the Shinigami over on Anime King 3, and enjoy that guys. And also over Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Awakened the Abilities of Alchemy, and enjoy that guys. And remember, for new, yes, I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, as the Kyuubi had made sure to make a debacle of Tsunade and the council after he killed Danzo and the 2 elders as well. Tsunade was sent to the hospital because her injuries were so bad, as the others were stood there watching the scene, as they could not do anything. If Kurama decided to transform, he would level the entire village because none of them could stop him. As Jiraiya gave him everything that belonged to Naruto, everything that was not nailed down he handed over. With that he took them and made his way off, back towards the Empire. Meanwhile with Naruto, as he spoke to Hinata about the upcoming threat, he then went and spoke to his people as he gave them a chance to decide if they want to take part in this war. As a people, of course wanted to fight for their empire and fight for their emperor, as they accepted with a yell of fight. Afterwards, the group from the Hidden Stone marched towards the walls because of their old grudge, as Naruto made sure to show them why he was not someone to be trifled with. He made his way down there as he walked through the army that could not even touch him. As he faced Kurosaki, he made sure to humiliate and demolish her in battle to show her that him and her were not on the same level. As Naruto defeated her soundly before he tied her up while one of his troops did. He then sent her off, as he was not going to kill her. A much goodwill humiliation should do work well, not to mention he was going to speak to the stone daimyo afterwards, to make sure things don't happen back on the front, as she would not dare threaten his forces ever again, as only a handful of her people survived, and she had brought thousands but they were slaughtered like lambs. Afterwards, Shizune and Anko arrived, as they want to be a part of Naruto's empire. Shizune was the one that leaked the secret towards the Fire Daimyo. As Anko came along with her, no matter how much things have changed, he would always see her as a snake whore. As Naruto told him that they would be monitored until he can fully trust them, as he warned them that if they turned against him, but they promised they would not, no matter what. Tsunade found out about this as she was completely pissed off. She was angry. As Jiraiya asked her why did she hate the kid so much, it was then that she told Jiraiya that Naruto was not natural, as Kushina could not properly give birth because of the fox inside of her, so she had give half of her egg and fused it with Kushina, so Naruto was basically her son on some level. But she became jealous and angry, saying that Naruto was not supposed to be born because she could never have that because she lost everyone, and anger and jealousy brought her to this stage. A stage where she went too far and she could not go back, so she wanted to get rid of Naruto because he was a constant reminder of what and the mistake that she had made back then. So Jiraiya punched her in the face as he was so angry, as he couldn't believe that she did all of this because of that jealousy, as he left angry at her. Some time later, as Orochimaru came to attack the village, but he was stopped by an assault of airships that started to assault the village. Well, not exactly the village, in the line of fire. Tsunade was preparing to go to war, but they did not came towards Konoha. They killed Orochimaru and his forces as Sub-Zero and his platoon arrived to find Orochimaru. Sub-Zero brought Orochimaru and Kabuto's head back, as him and his forces had demolished them in battle, as Naruto took the heads before splitting them and burning them to crisps. Finally, the Snake Sannin was erased from the face of the earth. He had someone of his go to Kumo to destroy all the communication there so they would not know what is going on in the outside world, until he made his way there after a few days, as Naruto arrived to Kumo. As the Raikage was now Killer Bee, seeing that his brother had been slain. As there was no communication device, as they did not know what was going on outside said village. Arriving there, as the man made his way outside to see the massive nine-tailed beast with Naruto on top of his head. Naruto jumped down in the village as Kurama shrunk back down to his human form as Killer Bee approached, as the two of them stood in front of each other. So yeah guys, that's basically as what I thought. You guys can switch across the play check for yourself. So this will begin this new episode. Let's get right into this, guys. You must be Killer Bee, I presume, said Naruto, as he saw Bee drawing his blades. When he spoke, his students appear doing the same. You presume correct, son of the Fourth Hokage. You're still going to lose to us before you can even go up against Killer Bee Sensei. A woman with red hair said. We won't let you kill Killer Bee Sensei, a blonde said with a rather impressive chest size that would rival Tsunade. Kill him. We don't want to kill him, said Naruto as he laughed a bit. That confused them. Then why are you here? The male of the group with the lollipop in his mouth asked. To remove the A-tails from him, said the Kyuubi as Kumo Shinobi's tensed as they got back in their stance. That will kill him, the redhead said. Not if I do it. I'm a seal master after all, and I did set my own demon free. As Naruto glanced towards Kyuubi that was beside him, the group tensed as they realized that was a Kyuubi in the human form. Why would you do that? Killer Bee said. His students were surprised that he was not rapping. To balance things out, the East needs to be humbled. I've been secretly doing it for years, so the wars here can stop so everyone can catch their breath. Killer Bee, your brother sided with Orochimaru for a chance to obtain the Byakugan eyes, and he had to be removed. Killer Bee's eyes widened behind his shades before they narrowed in anger. You killed my brother, he said. The eight-tailed chakra started to surround him. Me personally, no. I did send an assassin after him though, said Naruto. Your brother was an agent of war, a pointless one, and he allied with Orochimaru. He had to be put down. His pride and the bloodlust that I'd been told about was not going to stop. He was too much caught up in it, so I had to make him stop, said Naruto. Killer Bee got more and more angrier. He would have stopped, said Bee. The Kyuubi shot his tails forward as they wrapped around Bee, restraining him. Do not be a blind fool because he was your brother. Bloodlust has always filled his heart, and Orochimaru brought it to the surface, and made him believe that the eyes of the Byakugan would be his salvation. He sacrificed everything to Orochimaru just to obtain that Byakugan. Even you, said Naruto. You're still gonna pay for killing Isama, said the kid with sucker in his mouth. Call them off, Bee, said Naruto. I don't want to hurt your students, but I won't hesitate to maim them for life, or remove them completely if it's necessary, said Naruto. Killer Bee was still struggling against the Kyuubi, but he paused when he looked into Naruto's eyes, as he knew that Naruto was telling the truth. And not to mention his village was being swarmed by ninjas, who could launch an attack assault on him. And this man, even the A-tails, was shocked by his power, and not to mention the Kyuubi right there who was currently restraining him. If he died, well, his village would surely be destroyed. Just in retaliation. You just want to remove the A-tails from me? That's it, he asked. His students looked towards him in shock when he said that, as he couldn't believe that he was agreeing, but they didn't understand the situation that he was currently in right now. Yes, you won't die from it. I promise you that much. Once the A-tail is successfully extracted, the Demon Lord ruling over the Western Empire has agreed to take all the Bijus into his domain, said Naruto, as Bee looked towards him in surprise. Ask him if you can visit, said the A-tails inside of Bee's head, knowing if Bee were to fight this man, they would lose. Can I visit him? And what about Yujito and the Nebi, he asked. Yujito and Nebi has been in the western part of my empire for some time now. All the Biju with the exception of Shikaku, since the raccoon is too far gone. The rest of them are now living there. Order the surrender of your village, and I promise, on the souls of my people living in the Empire, I will not harm a single person here. Killer Bee closed his eyes as he took a breath, as he spoke to his demon. Samui, Teru, Amoy. Stand down, he said as his students looked towards him in shock. But Sensei, he's... As he looked towards Teru. This is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. He is also the Emperor of the Western Empire. Brother was afraid of him before, knowing that. He has been in more ruthless battles on a level that we cannot even begin to touch. We cannot defeat him. Even if by some chance we did, the Kyuubi would have killed us all, out of spite for it, before coming knowing what, Taxabi. All three of you stand down. Now, he said. As the Kumo Shinobis all set down their blades, no longer on edge, well they were but still. They were standing down, as Killer Bee was not rapping and not to mention, he was dead serious. And when he was this serious they listened, without a doubt. Alert the other Kumo Shinobis, said Naruto, as Killer Bee gave his group a nod. Time to get started, said the Kyuubi, as Naruto created a clone that gave the order to his Shinobis to stand down. The process took over an hour because the seal on Killer Bee had various safety measures. Some of them were designed to hurt the one doing the extraction. That was to be expected because the previous Raikage had cared about his brother a lot and didn't want his brother to be taken away and have the beast extracted. So, if he could buy any short amount of time to be able to save his brother, of course he would do that in a heartbeat. So the seal was full with countermeasures. But Naruto was not a seal master for nothing, as he got by all of those. As Naruto remained true to his word, Killer Bee was not killed and not even a single member was harmed. As Haxabi also entered his human form, seeing that he was one of the top level demons. After that happened, Kyuubi had a small talk with Haxabi. This was necessary, as he told him about the Akatsuki, as he couldn't allow that to happen. As Haxabi reluctantly agreed, as he cared about Bee a lot. So I guess it's goodbye for now, he said, as he held out his fists. Only for now. It's not like it has to end like a balloon, going pow, said Bee. As Haxabi laughed slightly. You seriously need to give up rhyming. Maybe then a girl will want to date you and maybe you can get laid, said Haxabi. Killer Bee grumbled about not getting respect. Your hopes don't have to be crushed. We do have music that involved in talking where we're from. And there can also be a musical studio to be set up so you can perform your music. As his students groaned. Please, don't encourage him, said Teru. They could not stand the man's rapping. They only stand it because he was their sensei / Raikage. Deal, said Killer Bee. We should have let the Emperor kill us, thought Amoy to himself. The rapping was worse than anything else. There's something I want to address before leaving, said the Haxabi. What, said the Kyuubi. It's likely the Akatsuki are going to be onto us, now that we're in the West. Aren't you afraid of them trying anything? As the Kyuubi laughed at that idea. I almost wish they would, my friend. Madara himself feared the West when it was at its peak of violence, and now every single one of them has honed into a united front. If the Akatsuki dare to try something, well, they would all be annihilated. But that won't be happening. One of Naruto's master strategists has already been working on a play to remove them as we speak. All that is left after this is Konoha being cleaned up. The group looked confused at that. I thought Konoha was taken care of. Rumors spread around about injuring the Hokage, killing the council, and revealing the Emperor heritage, said Samui, as almost everyone has heard the rumors. They were true. That was just to get our ducks in a row. All that is left is to... well, I don't think I need to explain it, said the Kyuubi, with a smirk on his face. Liquidation, Amoy said, as he catch on. Got it. Only those who are worthy of Naruto mercy will be spared death, and even those that should not, since they're suffering worse already. Why change out the greater punishment for a lesser one? The Kumo Shinobis glanced towards Naruto, as he seemed to be in deep thought about something, considering that he was not saying a single word, and he was just looking off to the side. We're ready to leave, my Emperor, the dragon leader said on the airship. Good. Inform my generals to fall back with the troops to Rice Country. You all did very well. I'm proud and honored to have you all fight for me. Thank you, my Emperor. See you later, Killer Bee, said Naruto. Look over Kumo well. I will. Count on it, said Killer B. You know, he's not what I expected, na Emperor Amoy said. Yeah, but he is. And he's also the son of the fourth Hokage. And Konoha decided to antagonize someone like him. Well, they were screwed. Meanwhile, with the Akatsuki, the Hidden Stone and Kumo have been forced into submission. Zetsu said to the gathered Akatsuki members, the source behind it, said Pain. The Western Empire Emperor, said Zetsu. It makes no sense. Why do this when they gain nothing in the process, said Konan. The Hidden Stone attacked over a week ago, and only the Tsuchikage and a handful of soldiers survived. It was meant to send an example to our village and the Earth Country daimyo. Orochimaru was marching towards Konoha before he was wiped out by the Empire forces, and Rice Country was also sacked. Kumo fell next, but they had no casualties. But apparently, they took the Hatsubi back with them to the Empire. How do we proceed? Asked Itachi. We could go to the Empire and take their Biju from them. It shouldn't be that hard after. They're years of peace, right? Said Kisame. Just because you're at peace, that doesn't mean they've stopped getting stronger. Naruto Namikaze wants his people to stay strong. Has them training, sparring, and fighting each other in healthy competitions. Their weakest warrior could rival someone like Orochimaru the Sannin and Kabuto. They would wipe us out before we can even track down one of the Biju. And that is with the human force of the Empire. There are some very powerful demons that live in the Western Empire and has power to even rival the Kyuubi. And I doubt the Sharingan has any power over them, said Itachi, as his statement was meant to target Madara, who was hiding in the shadows more than himself. Enough. We will target the one-tailed Jinchuriki in the sand, since he's the only one left here in the east. Once we have that Biju secured, we will target the others, and use whatever means possible to bring them back here. That is when a cruel laughter echoed out in the darkness. What the hell? Hidan said, as the laughter got louder and louder, until a sense of dread filled the room. What an unexpected turn of events my time with the Emperor has brought. Since he discovered me deep beneath the Imperial Palace, I must have done something good in my other life, for him to give me the chance of wiping you all out. As he stepped from the shadows, he seemed to be made from darkness itself, as his glasses glanced towards them. Who the hell are you? Said Kisame, as several other individuals appeared behind him. Oh, where are my manners? My name is Aligard. Next to me is my student, Cirrus Victoria. Behind her are Cloud Strife, Cethra. Behind me is the younger of the two, Inu, Demon Lord, brothers by the name of Inuyasha. We have come here under the direct order of the Emperor himself to kill the so-called immortals, said Aligard. I want the Jashin priests, said Cirrus. Bring it on, bitch, Hidan said as he pulled out his sight. The fishman is mine, said Cloud, as he revealed his sword, while Samihata was revealed by Kisame as he held it over his shoulder. No problem there, he says, he looked hungry for a fight. I'll take the one that is obsessed with money. I'll even take some of it to pay the boatman to send his corpse to the other side, said Inuyasha. I have always wondered what it would be like to have a demon heart in me. Now I will know when I rip yours from your body, said Kakazu. The one by the name of Pain is mine. Now who get Uchiha, Itachi, and Madara? Said Sephiroth. Zetsu tried to escape but dark tentacles wrapped around him. The Emperor, of course, Aligard said, as Naruto appeared from the shadows. You're too kind, Aligard. But given Itachi's weakened condition, Madara would be the only challenge between the two. And I also hate to send Konoha most valuable spy back to Konoha in pieces, as he focused on Itachi. Wait, what? Said Kisame. You heard me. Itachi Uchiha has been Jiraiya of the Sannin spy for the Leaf regarding all of your activities. Every move you made, every scheme, every plan was known to Konoha in advance by Itachi, informing Jiraiya of these. As Naruto saw Itachi stepping away from the group of S-rank missing names, "You goddamn traitor!" Hidan yelled, as Naruto simply chuckled. Don't be like that, Jashin priest. Itachi was just doing his noble duty for Konoha, just like my father did, and we all know how that turns out. I'm surprised that you did not leave sooner, Itachi. Your eyes must be badly damaged at this point, where all you see is grey shapes in the room. Am I correct? Itachi looked down. Yes, you're correct, he said. But even without my sight, I'm still able to end the others in a fight. And even you, if I must, he said, as Naruto smirked. Let us test that theory, shall we? Algard black tentacles wrapped around Konan, as Zetsu was torn apart. You aren't going anywhere, my dear, Algard said, as she tried to escape. Kisame was fighting Cloud in swordsmanship, as their swords clashed against each other. They tried to outdo the other, and it was clear Cloud. He had the edge. Kisame couldn't even perform hand signs because the guy was so fast that he could barely keep up. Damn brat, Kisame said, as he tried to match Cloud's strength with his own, but somehow, the blonde swordsman was faster and stronger than him in Kinjutsu, a level above him. This so-called brat is gonna take your head off, said Cloud, as he caught Samehata in a scissors move, and sliced the blade in half. Samehata screamed out in pain, as Cloud brought down the force upon Kisame. Kisame brought his hand up to perform hand sign, but Cloud removed his hand, before kicking him right in the throat, knocked him down towards the ground and swipe. His head flew off his shoulders. Over to the side, Inuyasha released a cosmic blast that erased Kakazu from the face of this earth. As for Seraph, she was flying as she had some red rings from her back. She was holding on to Hidan's leg as she slapped him through the wall and ground his face against the ground. His skin, bone, flesh was peeling away as she rubbed him out. She then drop kicked him in the earth as she started to tear him apart with her nails, ripping him from limb to limb. Sephiroth had summoned his sword. Despite the 6 paths of pain, they had stood no chance. Yes, their Sharingan was powerful, but Sephiroth's blade was able to negate their attacks, and his speed was much more overwhelming, as he took down path after paths, moving at incredible speeds, as they could not catch him, or even stop him for that matter. Now it's down to you and me, Itachi said Naruto as he heard all the loud screams. Madara would be next. And if I'm feeling merciful, maybe your little brother. Algard turned towards Konan and he asked her if she was a virgin. She answered yes to the man as he bit her in the throat. Seraph heard something, as her ear was rather sharp. Heartbeat, as she found the real pain, who was in a machine. He fired a rod that stabbed through her chest, as blood dripped down, but she started to laugh. She ripped it out and threw it. It teared through the muscles and bones in his arm, and pinned his arm above him as she arrived, and sink her fangs into his throat, as she drained him dry. Seraph found the real pain, said Algard, as Konan was in the process of changing to become another servant of Algard's, now that he turned her. As for Itachi, he was sent sailing as he crashed into the wall, rather violently. His eyes were barely seeable at this point. It has been so long, and he could not keep up. Even if his eyes were at full power, he still wouldn't be able to keep up, as Naruto stood above him. Itachi moved as a chain made from chakra stabbed where he was. My mother bloodline, in case you're wondering, said Naruto, accidentally sealed away by the 4th Hokage when he was placed in the cube inside me. Not on purpose, mind you, but my father was in a bit of a rush. When I freed the Kyuubi, it awakened it, said Naruto. You have much to answer for, Itachi, said Naruto. Yes, don't worry, you will live. I want you to stand before the Fire Daimyo to answer all that you have done for. To tell the man the massacre of your clan, for the real reason. Itachi's eyes widened as Inuyasha flashed behind him, and knocked him out with a blow to the head. We'll take him back from here, my emperor, said Inuyasha. As Naruto nodded, as Inuyasha tossed Itachi towards Cloud. Cloud, take him out of here, and keep him knocked out until you get to Fire Country to tell the Fire Daimyo of your prize. Inuyasha, come with me for a moment, said Naruto. I need you and your demon blade to destroy something. As they went towards the Gedo statue, where the three-tail was sealed away. This is a statue of our spies. Heard rumors about, Inuyasha said. Naruto placed a hand on the statue as he felt the three tails inside. I sense fear, anger, and also hope, said Naruto. The three tails senses me here. My intention to destroy the statue, and the fact that will set it free. Grant the demon his wish, said Naruto. Yes, sir, said Inuyasha, as he pulled his blade as it started to be covered in a cloak of pure energy before he sliced the thing down as the energy release clashed with the Gedo statue, effectively destroying it and setting the three-tailed demon free. Of course, it will take a few years before it can reform itself, but Naruto wasn't having a problem with that. When it does reform, you make sure to tell the demon of the giant, massive ravines and lakes that were in the demonic home world. Now, where is Uchiha Madara? As Naruto could sense that the man was still here, but he was not coming out to fight. But now there was no one left to fight for him, so he'll have to show himself sooner than later. This here is sent. It taints this place, Inuyasha said. As Naruto nodded in agreement, get the others out of here. This fight is between him and me, said Naruto. Are you sure, my lord? I'm sure, said Naruto. This is a long overdue match. I have a personal score to settle with him, said Naruto. Inuyasha nodded. As he left, he informed the others they had to leave. Get out here. All of your dogs have been disposed of. You're the only one left, said Naruto. That was rather smart of you. Sending him away, a voice said, as Naruto stood there calmly, undisturbed that the place was incredibly dark, and that he could not really see where the man was coming from. But he did not seem to mind one bit, as he just stood there waiting. I would have used my eyes on him and no doubt caused you a few problems, said Madara. He was no longer in his Toby disguise, but his crimson armor that he wore in the past. Yes, it was smart. But not in the way that you think, because your eyes don't work on the likes of him, and they never will again. The Kyuubi is no longer your pet. As I purged that weakness away from him, and he's now his own demon, said Naruto. I heard the rumors from Konoha about that, seeing that it was Danzo, and he was using things that were far above his understanding. After all, he is not a Uchiha by blood, said Madara. You speak like it would make a difference, said Naruto. It wouldn't. Your Sharingan eyes only work on the Bijus, and even then I've removed that weakness from every one of them who is now living in the Empire. I've robbed you of your eyes' true power, said Naruto. Madara's eyes narrowed in anger, as that was his plan, to enter the Empire and use his eyes to cause havoc, and escaping while it was going on. I see. Well then, the next best thing to have for a victory is to have your head mounted on my wall, and perhaps I'll show it to your future wife, soon to be widow. As Naruto laughed. You think just because peace had been reigning in the Empire, that I would stop training? I knew of my weakness a long time ago, so I ensured that I would never be weak again, especially to lose to the likes of someone like you, said Naruto. Your time has passed, and it's time that you fall. Let's see you back those claims up, boy, said Madara. Oh, I will, said Naruto. And don't bother trying to use that time-space jutsu of yours. I'm sure you realize that it's not working at the moment. It's not a fluke. Seals are all over this place to prevent any space-time ninjutsu, even the Hiraishin. You would do that yourself. I know your Uzumaki honor would have you do something stupid, but this will be your fall because of your stupidity. Then you should have no reason to complain. Now shut your mouth and let's fight, said Naruto. The both of them move as their weapons clash rather violently as a groan crack underneath them. You're pretty good. You're doing much better than your father, said Madara. They battle in Kenjutsu, their blades lashing out and clashing rather violently, trying to take the other heads off. I have long since surpassed my father in the form of natural speed. What is your excuse for not doing the same, said Naruto. Madara frowned as he rolled away from the sword slash that almost sliced him in half. I've been busy, said Madara, as Naruto smirked. You mean you've been lazy? Always have other people doing your dirty work doesn't exactly strain your muscles at all. Always using that time-space jutsu of yours. It's a surprise that you still remember how to fight. My Senju rival did weaken me. I'm not at my full strength, said Madara, as Naruto smirked. Excuses, excuses. Do you know how much time I've been weakened in combat? Countless times, and yet I pushed myself to become greater than what I was. Because that is what strong people do. You took the coward way out, said Naruto. Use your eyes at the rest of the Uchiha clan to cheat, to gain victory. What about your honor to win in a fair matter? Shinobis don't play fair. You should know that by now. We never have. Honor has nothing to do with the way of life. Honorable Shinobis always get put down first because they stand in the light when they should be in the shadow. The Senju and Uzumakis learned that hard way as they crumble because they were too honorable. No, that's where you're wrong, said Naruto. It wasn't them standing in the light that got them killed. They thrive in the light. It made them stronger. It was people like you who were jealous of their ability to walk in the light that caused our near destruction, and yet you forget one thing about the light, Madara. And what is that, said Madara, as he felt a sword run through his back. As he looked down, the Naruto in front of him poofed away. He was fighting a cyclone? Since when, he thought to himself. The darkness will always yield to the power of light no matter what. Wood style. Leech, tree jutsu, said Naruto. A tree came out and wrapped around Madara tightly, restraining his movements. What the? This is impossible. How did he have this power? Surprise? You weren't the only one. I was shocked to find out I had Senju blood inside of me. It was then that Kyuubi learned a very interesting thing about me, and how it happened. As Naruto whispered into the man's ear, the tree consumed the man's body, leaving his head alone out in the open, as Madara's face was looking shocked. There was only one Senju woman at the time of your mother's pregnancy. She was the only one capable of performing such a procedure. As Naruto walked around to face him, clean the blood off his blade. That is right. It means Tsunade Senju is partially my mother, if only to a slight degree. I have no doubt that she knew about my connection to her, outside of her being my godmother. That makes her look like a more bigger pile of walking human crap than I thought she was. It's almost a shame you won't live long enough to see what is about to come, said Naruto. Madara cried out in pain as he felt the word sensation. What are you doing to me? He said, as he felt his blood, his energy, everything draining out of him. I'm draining you, said Naruto. Hence the name of the jutsu. I don't know how long it will last, due to how long you've been alive because of your eyes. But I do know that it's going to be an agonizing wait for death to reclaim your soul. Enjoy the torture, said Naruto as he walked away, leaving the screaming Madara, who was unable to break free or unable to do anything but suffer in agonizing pain. When Naruto left the room, the entire place exploded, as that was a tomb where he will remain. Time skip. The Fire Daimyo was feeling uneasy at the moment, which he had every right to be because he had several agents of the Western Empire holding Itachi Uchiha in front of him, and they were waiting for the Emperor to arrive. The feudal lord knew even with his own samurais here, they stood no chance against these foes. But the Emperor has done so much, changed so much, and he just found out that the Akatsuki was no more. There was no more threat of that organization trying to take away the Bijus. It's hard to imagine that things have gone so far out of hand, but yet, the nation has been stabilized because of said chaos. Maybe this is Kami's way of removing the poison from our lands. All this corruption, greed, thirst, power, for greater rewards, without thinking of the consequences. Our actions have led towards everything today. The East has been poisoned by all these things, and it seems that the Emperor is the only way to cure it. As Itachi was currently on his knees, it was then that he saw the Emperor arrive with his generals. As he made his way towards them, Fire Daimyo-sama, it's good to see you after all this time despite all the horrible circumstances and the chaos happening around it. As the feudal lord nodded, as Naruto had visited the man, in secret, no one really knew about that. They had spoke about the future of this world, as they had came to the agreement that all sides of the land need to be calm, otherwise there will forever be chaos. Now, Itachi Uchiha, you're going to tell the Fire Daimyo everything about your time in the Akatsuki, the true reason behind the Uchiha massacre. And afterwards, Itachi asks, his voice sounding unusually calm for the situation that he was in. You get your long-awaited wish. The wish of dying for your crime, said Naruto. I understand, Itachi said. Look on his face. He had already accepted this. As he turned back towards the Fire Daimyo. Time skip at Konoha. I can't believe this. That brat is taking over the East, said Tsunade, as she couldn't believe this, as she received word from the others, as Naruto was conquering every single place, as the East was being conquered by him. The prophecy, said Jiraiya. What? Not that nonsense again, said Tsunade. It makes sense, said Jiraiya. I did teach a kid, if only for a short time, and look what is happening around us. He's taking control of everything. The feudal lords know that they can't defy him, so they have surrendered because of his power that he now holds. He would either destroy or save this world, while he's doing it in an unconventional manner. He's really taking over everything. Rice country was subjugated into the empire completely. The kid is devouring lands left and right without even lifting a finger, and he cannot be stopped, said Jiraiya. My grandfather was the same way with the shinobi villages. He was respected and feared on a level that no one would dare challenge him while he was alive. It seems like he's inherited more from me than just Senju blood in his veins. Is that so bad, Tsunade? Do you really want to fight him? Over whatever need that you feel to fight him is what I can't get my head wrapped around. Of course I do. I will fight him with everything I got, Jiraiya. That boy is not worthy of a life given to him by that damn procedure my grandfather used. Tsunade said as Jiraiya looked down. You do realize if it wasn't for that procedure, to get Kushina pregnant with me not a child, you would not even exist either because your grandmother had the same thing done to herself. She brought your own mother into this world, said Jiraiya. Tsunade snapped her gaze towards him with an unnatural anger in her eyes. Never say that to me ever again, or I will beat you to death, Jiraiya, she said. I won't. It's the first and last time I'll say it to you, Tsunade. I only said it because I was hoping that it will knock some sense into your head, to get this hate out of your heart that you feel for the kid, but it seems I failed. I don't know what I feel in my heart for the brat. I don't know if it's hate, spite, or something else, but I cannot put it into words. What I do know is my feelings are telling me to make sure that he does not win, and I will fight him with everything I got, she said. You're going to regret this, Tsunade. You know the Fire Daimyo has ordered liquidation of Konoha, with Naruto come here to do it himself. Let him come, said Tsunade. I'll fix the mistake I did all those years ago. Kushina would be devastated to hear you say that. As she would be with you, said Tsunade. I know that already, said Jiraiya, and I've regretted doing that every single day since the order was signed. It's only now the weight of it has practically reached its limit. It's a shame the guilt that you should be feeling right now is lighter than air. As Jiraiya left the room before she could shoot back a response. Time skip. Konoha streets. Word reached the populace of the Fire Daimyo ordering the Leaf official liquidation. The Fire Daimyo gave Naruto the right to prove his allegiance to him after he has placed the Fire Nation into the Empire. Konoha was not needed, as the Emperor would be the one to perform the liquidation of said village. Civilians were scrambling to get their children into the shelter, believing that the people of Konoha will be able to protect them. Even now the shinobis were trying to prepare defense, but most of them knew that they would go down in a blaze of glory, they thought, because what chance did they have at winning? Their daimyo has given up on them. He did not care about their life, or what happened to them. As many of the civilians realized the child that they scorned, the child that they hate was now coming back, to wreak havoc upon all of them. Even now they still blame him and hate him. Well, they should, because he was coming here to liquidize everything, but still. They hate him for corrupting the Fire Daimyo. But it does not matter as they hide as they fled. To the bomb shelters it does not matter. At the moment the Konohamaru Corps was currently in an alleyway as they watched people and ninjas ran in panic and chaos. They knew that their boss was coming near to Konoha. Agents of the Empire was already in Konoha, under the disguises of civilians, traveling merchants, and holy monks, as they had been waiting in the shadows, waiting to get the order to strike Konoha. It's finally happening, said Konohamaru, as the others nodded. Statistically, it was bound to happen sooner or later, said Udon. They brought this upon themselves, said Moge, as a figure appeared. The group turned towards him. I bring word from the Emperor himself. He requires your assistance in bringing down the northern wall of the village, where most of the Leaf Shinobis are moved to protect the village, since they know that is a general area for Konoha. Konohamaru Corps nodded. How big of an army is the boss bringing? Do you really have to ask, Sir Toby Konohamaru? The Emperor is an army by himself, as the figure walked into the shadows. Of course he is, said Konohamaru. Meanwhile, are they on the move? A figure with long red hair with an X on his cheek asks. I just spoke to them. I can see that they're loyal to the Emperor. The pair of the ramen stand were extracted using Danzo Underground Route Base, and they're being taken towards the Empire. What about the other Rookie 9? Might die, old Genin team, spear, or be killed? Ask the red-headed figure. Avoid them for now until further orders. Disable if you fight, but do not kill them until further orders are given by the Emperor, said the assassin. As the red-headed figure nodded, await the signal to begin. It will come from a crimson flare I will launch on top of the Fourth Hokage's head. Understood, the red-headed swordsman said, as the assassin vanished. As the red-headed figure looked over Konoha. Meanwhile, outside the village. Are you ready for this, Naruto-kun? Asked Hinata. I am. Are you ready? Said Naruto. What must be done is not something that can happen quickly, and he was cut off, as she placed her finger on his lip. You need to do this. We need to do this, my love. Let us put our ghosts to rest, and bring this world to peace. As Naruto nodded as he caressed her hand, there was a ring on it with a green jewel. The green jewel that was once the first Kage necklace had been altered to become her ring. Then let us do this together, said Naruto. Together, she said, as they share a passionate kiss. Creating an army of clones, they moved forward. But before anything could happen, there was a massive explosion that teared through the wall of Konoha. The army of Naruto charged forward as a flare shot from the Hokage's monument, bathed in the village in a crimson light. Agent of the Empire start to cause havoc and death. Imperial swordsmen and warriors and shinobis start to show their true colors that they were from the Empire and bring down hell on the village. As for Hinata, she went straight towards her father and a sizable group of her clan. Hayashi called her a failure. The Emperor swore he will see to it that she would not have any children if she survived this with the Emperor. Hinata was not intimidated by the man. She has been training the entire time while Naruto was out, and she has gotten stronger. She did not fear him or anyone else. He let his clansman took her down first, so that his hands would be clean in taking her down directly. But to his shock and surprise, she dropped every single one of them. Her style of fighting was not the one that you remember teaching her. How could you do this to me? To your clan? As Hinata scoffed. How could I not? I love Naruto-kun, I always have. You and the others put me through hell for my love, willing to turn me into a slave and give me off as kettle to be breathed by the Inuzaka like I was nothing. You never loved or cared about me. As Hayashi scoffed, love has nothing to do with the Hyuga clan, he said. You have tarnished our clan name by falling for that demon. Hayashi lashed out at her. She lashed out back as their strikes connected. Didn't you have love for my mother, she said. Love is a foreign word, just like how freedom is out of the question for the Branch clan. Your mother was of high status in our clan, so I was forced to marry her by the clan in order to bear two powerful heirs, but you have been nothing but a disappointment. Tell me something, said Hinata, ignoring his comments. When she died, was that because she found out the truth that you did not ever care about her? Or was it because the elders ordered you to do so? I don't know how you find that out, but I assure you, they will never be spoken from your lips ever again. As he lashed out at her to put her down, but she blocked his strike and countered with a hit to his stomach, knocking him back. The moment he was pushed back, she started to assault him, releasing everything, her anger, her rage. It was a lot. How much time he pushed her to fight her sister. How much time he used her, how much time he threw her aside like she was mere garbage. Hayashi cried out in agonizing pain as she assaulted every nerve ending, every pain receptors all over his body, while breaking it down as blood splattered across her face, soaked her arms, but she just kept on hitting and striking as she assaulted him with everything that she got, releasing all of her fury until the man was a bloody, agonizing mess. She panted as he fell to the ground. As Naruto clone was standing there watching everything, as he saw a look of relief came on her face. She was finally freed from him. She was finally freed. The clone told the others to round up all of the rookies. Once this was over, they will decide what to do with them. As for the real Naruto, he was on his way, as he was marching directly towards the Hokage's tower, where his two godparents were waiting for him. Tsunade was up there waiting. As she saw him, he did not look up, but he knew that she was looking down at him. But he did not look up, he just continued to march as he marched straight towards the tower. It was finally time that they had a talk, but this one was gonna end with someone on the ground, dead. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Soul was taken by the Shinigami over on Anime King 3 and enjoy that guys. And also, over on Anime King I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Awaken the abilities of alchemy. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And if you're new, yes, I need have 3 channels, Anime King and Making 2 and Making 3, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button, become a part of the Making family, and thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get the hell out of here? See you guys real soon. Remember, turn on the bell notifications, stay posted guys. And yeah, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.